Well, time now to take a look at what's making the day's papers, front pages. With us in studio is Oliver Farry. Oliver, a very good morning to you. Tell me, I believe French Prime Minister Manuel Valls, his TV appearance over the weekend, that's getting a lot of coverage.
That's right, and Valls' insistence that he will be staying for the full length of President François Hollande's term, which ends in 2017. Le Parisien's headline says, "I'm here, I'm staying." Now, it also points out that 2015 could turn into an annus horribilis for the Prime Minister. The departmental elections are coming up in March and regional ones in December, and both of them stand to be bloodbaths for the left. And there'll be a highly charged Socialist Party Congress in June as well. Manuel Valls could find himself in the ejector seat, it says, so he's changing his tack somewhat. There's no more tweaking the nose of the left, which he has in the past said is living in the past, and he's got to cut back on, quote, declarations of love for big business. Manuel Valls is sucking up to his comrades, says the pro-business daily Les Echos. The Prime Minister is doing the same thing as the President, quoting one of his ministers who says, "The music hasn't changed. Just like when you're playing the piano, after your right hand, you work on the left one."
Okay, now I believe it's going to be a tough week for Parliament as the Economy Minister presents a new law. Is that getting any coverage?
Yes, Emmanuel Macron's proposed law is presented as a series of reforms to stimulate growth and activity. It seeks to liberalise a number of heavily regulated professions and to allow Sunday work and Sunday shopping, of course, as well. L'Opinion says it's a test project, which is more or less going to be supposed to be the cornerstone of the government's economic policy. If it fails, pretty much all the programme of reforms they promised since 2012 are gone, and it could actually expose France to economic sanction or European sanctions. Now, there are many within the government ranks that aren't particularly happy with it, but the public is a little bit more supportive. Les Echos says it points out that the recent survey shows that 60% of French people are in favour of the Macron reforms. The Socialist Party obstructs, but the people approve, and the two measures of the main plan, opening shops on Sundays and the opening up of certain regulated professions, are quite popular. 70% in favour of Sunday shopping, 64% in favour of the deregulation of professions.
I have to say, the Sunday shopping, I still haven't got used to the fact that it's closed here in Paris.
Yes, I know.
But there are now those as well that say the reforms don't actually go far enough.
Yes, and one of those is none other than German Chancellor Angela Merkel, who said in an interview with the newspaper Die Welt on Sunday that the French reforms are too slow. The Figaro has picked this up. It also notes that the warning is relevant to Italy as well. Now, the Chancellor was speaking before her Christian Democratic Union's annual party conference, at which she's expected to be re-elected leader. But the party base, she's really appealing to that. The party base is, Le Figaro says, is exasperated by the laxness of the crisis-stricken countries.
Now, will French President François Hollande hear her call?
Well, I'm sure he's aware of her concerns, but Libération says the President is actually looking left in an effort to get re-elected in 2017. Hollande's manoeuvres are trying to prepare an alliance with the Greens and possibly other left-wing parties to shore up support. We'll move on now to the Catholic daily Le Croix, which has reports on the many demonstrations this weekend in the United States against police violence against black communities. A racism that hasn't gone away, it says. The front page editorial says, despite all the laws, all the civil rights, despite a black man rising to the highest office in the land, despite the social and economic successes of many African Americans, a succession of incidents shows that the black community distrusts the police and the justice system. It says many white people are indifferent to this, but the fact that there also were quite a few of them present in the demonstrations suggests that change is possible.
Okay, finally, I believe Le Monde newspaper has a story about a controversial proposed law in Germany.
Yes, the state of Bavaria, which is ruled by the Christian Social Union, a different party from Angela Merkel's one, wants to force foreigners to speak German even at home. The proposal, Le Monde states, has raised indignation in Germany and also amusements. The General Secretary of the Christian Democratic Union distanced himself from it. He said, Peter Tauber said on Twitter, "I don't think it's up to politicians to say whether I should speak Latin, Klingon or Hessian at home. The head of the Social Democrats says the Christian Social Union is living in Absurdistan."
Excellent. Well, finally, we're going to briefly, Oliver, look at this Twitter that's caused a bit of a buzz. A French politician telling the German Chancellor to shut up.
Yes, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, the left-wing French leader of the Front de Gauche, he did not appreciate Angela Merkel's comments on France's slow economic reforms, and he said he had the good grace not to directly address her on Twitter, but he did say, in a message that was half in French, half in German. Shut up, Frau Merkel. France is free. Take care of your own poor people and your infrastructure in ruins. Rather more diplomatically, Finance Minister Michel Sapin said that France will make reforms not to please European leaders, but because it's necessary for France.
Okay, Oliver Farry there with the French press review. Thank you indeed for that.